this video, we're going to be looking at how to create this particular inventory performance dashboard right on your screen. So it's just for you to look at how to answer business questions, just with data. Over here, we're going to be tracking some couple of KPIs, and those are the problems we're going to be solving. You just have to read through what exactly we have right in here, right? It's something very simple. I'm going to show you how to actually get it done. As you can see, this is a dashboard I'm going to be building with just, this particular data right in here. So here's my back end, which is where I have actually answered all the questions you have seen just recently. The product, then the item below reorder level. And as you can see over here, we have stock, category. And if I keep going, we have all those particular questions right in here. And we have actually answered them the way they should be. So we have to actually add some couple of calculated columns just to make sure we actually, give the end users what they want to see and how the data can actually help them to make decision. So now this is the final result of exactly what we're about to, get into. I'm going to show you every single thing you need to know to actually have this created. Plus, I have other videos right in here about Microsoft Excel and as well Power BI, how to create reports and dashboard. If you're very much interested to learn from me, please go ahead and actually check out my channel for several videos that I actually have right here just for you. So how about this? See you in the class. If you have gotten the data downloaded, the very first thing you have to do is to make sure you convert this particular, data into a table. So go over to this particular insert here. You're going to see this particular table here, and the shortcut is actually Ctrl+T. Now, go ahead and make sure this particular my table has headers, is checked. So here we go. We have a table right in here that we're going to use. Let us go back to this particular question part here. The first question here says total, products. So how do we get that done? We have to create a pivot table with this data that we have. So go over to the top ribbon and click on insert and insert a pivot table. So make sure you actually say create new worksheet for that. So we have this. We're going to rename this one to analysis. That is nice. You can actually shift this from where it is right now to any place of your choice. For me, I'm going to keep it right here. But this doesn't make any damn sense. Why don't we just get it done right in here? The best way to get that done now is to actually go ahead and Ctrl+X to cut it away from here. Then go to this particular part and paste it beneath this very one here. So this one now is blank. We can actually remove this. Let us use the question, sheet. So getting back here right now, to get the total products here, we just have to drag any column of our choice. In my own case, I'm going to drag this into this. And automatically it's going to actually default into a count for me. So we just have to quickly do Ctrl+1. And have this formatted into comma separator. So let us answer the second question. The second question here is asking items below reorder level. So do we have to create a fresh pivot table? I think that is not really important. So over here now, we can actually go ahead and copy this particular one and paste this one over here. Then you can decide to double click on this one and rename it after this, which is going to be total products. Nice, right? So this is where we're going to actually, get this question answered. So how do we do that? So to get this particular question answered right now, we have to go back to our data set and add a new column right in here. So just shift this one. Now we can actually add a new column, and this particular column should be called is reorder. So you can call it whatever you like, but for me, I just want to give it something very simple and short. So what are we going to do? We want to check if we have the current stock is actually less than the reorder level. So it's simple. Just put an equal sign here and let us navigate to where we have that right in. So here we go. We have our current stock, and we're going to say if this is actually less than the reorder level here, then hit the enter key. It's giving us true and false. So once we have gotten this now, we can go all the way back to our question here. Now, if we go down here, we couldn't find it. So what do? We just right click over here and refresh. So here we go. We have this now. Go ahead and actually, I think keep this one over here, and this one should be on the rows level here. So we have just answered this particular question right now, but that is not all. We're going to actually create a chart for this one, but all we can do right now is just to come over here and just type in metrics, then values. So over here on the metrics side, we're going to actually say here, this is orders, and here now is going to be need reorder. So here it's going to be PCT, need reorder. So what are we going to do with this one now? Let's see. So what I'm going to do right now for order here, I'm going to put an equal sign, and where I actually have this particular false right in is the order, and the true is where we actually need reorder, which is this particular number here. And for now, we need to calculate the percentage. So for we to do that right now, what we need to do is just to do simple division to actually get our percentage. I believe somebody must have been doing it, before I even think about it. So who can actually try this to see how you can actually get a percentage of need reorder? So it's very simple. We just have to go ahead and say equals here and pick this particular number divided by the total product that we have. So once you've done that, we have just gotten this done. So Control 1 and go ahead and format this to a percentage. So it gives us 14.3% right here. So we have just answered this particular question. So next again is going to be total stock value here. So we just have to go straight to this particular part, copy this same pivot table and drop it right in here to calculate your stock value. So all we have to do right now, remove everything that we have right in here. So how do we do that? We have to go back to our data set. So to get our stock value, column created, what we have to do right now is going to be the current stock. We're going to actually multiply that by the unit price that we have. Can you see how easy it is? So let's do that. So we're going to actually call this one stock values or stock value. Okay, so we just do equals here and we pick up the current stock and we do multiply by the unit price, and once I hit my enter key, I have this right in here. You can decide to format it if you like, so it's all your choice. So I'm just gonna do a formatting. Let's do here with one that has comma separator, or you can use your click currency. Just go ahead and search for your country currency right in here, go to more and pick that. So for now, I'm not going to do that. Let's quickly go back to the question. And right now we have to refresh. So now let's go down here and stock value, drop it in here. So we just created a KPI. So there is need for you to format this. It's very important. So in my own case, I'm going to go to currency and I'm going to just scroll down to pick my country currency. So here I'm going to go with this particular one here. So no extra decimal number. So we have this. So use any currency symbol of your choice. So yes. So now I'm going to copy this same one here. Now we have to go straight to this particular part and paste it in. So what is the question asked here? The question asked here means a number of categories. Very simple. Let us go ahead and take off this particular one here and bring in category right in here. So to get that done right now, you can actually use this particular equals and do count A. So count A counts this particular part for me, right? But this does not make any damn sense because this is not going to actually grow when we have more categories. So what then do we do? So we have to click over this and go straight up to this particular pivot table analyze, or sorry, design. From design, go to this particular part and actually say show in tabular form and go over here and just turn off the rows and columns for everything. So the grand total is actually gone. So can you see it now? So what we can do right now is to double click over here and make sure we extend this one beyond where it is so that when new values actually popped in, it's going to update the numbers that we have right in here. Can you see it now? We have just 5 because currently it's 5. What if I actually just type in jargon and hit my enter key? Even come over here and do the same thing. Can you see it now? It's actually updating. This is what you need to understand when it comes to, working with Excel. Okay, I'm going to copy the same pivot table again, and let us actually solve this particular question we have right in here. Over here, it says average reorder level. What are you thinking? Average reorder level. So can you try this out by yourself and let's see what you actually arrive at and see how good you are using Excel. So just go ahead and take this particular part off. To get this done now, we just have this particular column here called reorder level. Drag it over here and click on it and just go over to this particular show fit list, right? Once you've done that, just go ahead and do average, and that is all. So once we do average, it's going to come in this particular formatting. So just go ahead and do Ctrl+1 to actually use normal number. And if you want to actually use decimal number, you can actually do by 1 and click on OK. It depends on what you really want. So can you see that now? Very simple. So we are actually getting into a little bit complex rather, right? So let's copy and paste this one over here, then answer this particular question. Which products are below their reorder level? It's a great question. So we can solve this without looking at my solution. So try to solve this first, then come back and see what I have done to actually have this solved. So to get this particular questions answered, we just have to add a new column to our data set. And over here, let us call this particular column shortage. So here we go. Then the next thing we have to do right now is to say, okay, you know what? I want to actually, subtract reorder level from the current stock. So we go over here. Here is our reorder level. Subtract it from the current stock. And once you do this, you're going to see this particular, values in minus, negative values. So if you just go straight up to use this now, it's not going to work. Let's try it. So now we're going to actually come over here. Then try to refresh and get in the new column we've just added. So here we go. This one here is on minus. Then the next thing we have to do is to bring in our products column over here. Now, can you see everything right now is on minus? So what do we do? What if I right click over here and just go over to pivot table option? No, not this one, sorry. Right click again and this. So we choose to use the max value here. Once we click on this, we're going to have something like this. But does this really make any damn sense? So let me show you another alternative to actually get this done. So if you want to get this done now, you go back over here, you actually come over here and only keep values that are some kind of positive. Any negative values should be actually gone, right? So how do we do that? We come straight up to this particular part and double click on it, and we copy this part without the equal sign. Copy, and over here we're going to do if here. So this particular calculation here is greater than 0. So if what it returns is greater than 0, which means it's not on minus, then we want to see the calculation to return any value that is actually greater than 0. Other than that, double quotes, go ahead and close and hit the enter key. Now can you see right now they all have disappeared. We all have only the positive values right in here. So what do? Let's get back in here. No changes yet. What do we need to do? Just right click and refresh. And let's come up with the new one. I don't think I think this first one should have worked. This one is showing count. It's showing count. I'm gonna do max. Okay, I think everything is working fine now. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Let's remove this one. And over here, we're going to right click and go to sorting. So we're going to sort this largest to smallest. So here we go. We have this. I think everything here is correct. So what is not correct right now is that we have some decimal numbers. So just go over to the top here, click on home and take off those decimal numbers. This is what we need to actually have. So this will give us the products that are below their reorder level. So use max. It's very important to do that. So it might look a little bit complicated, but that is just the way to get it done. If you have any other way to actually have this solved, please share with me. I'll be very glad to learn. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy now. Have this pasted over here. And right away, we just have this new question that says, which category has the most low stock products? So which means we're going to actually use categories, category column right in here. So what do we need to do? We take off this, we take off this, we bring in category into this particular part. And here we go, we have something like this. What do we do now? We have to add a new column. That column should, do we have to add a new column? I'm thinking, no, we have a column. This column here that says is reorder. So we're going to actually keep this particular column over here on the filter part. So once we have done that, we just have to actually, get any column of our choice. It could be this one or any other one, or even this one here, any column at all. Even the value one, which is this particular unit price, can be gotten here. But right now it's not showing us count. Let's double click on it and go over to this particular view settings and choose the count. And here you go, you have a count. Can you see now? So this is just a normal value. If I go ahead and drag in anything that has to do with maybe text right now, automatically it defaulted to count itself. You get it right now. But for values, you have to actually go ahead and control it. So let us take this off. So here we go. We have total products right in here. And now this is how you can actually answer the question, right? Let's go straight up to the next one. So we're going to copy everything and paste it right in here. So once done, let us look at the question. The question says, which suppliers deliver the most products? Which suppliers deliver the most products? All we have to do is just to get this one off and push in suppliers. I think we have a column like that, which is this particular one into here. Now, can you see now? This is the numbers. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to remove this particular one from here because we don't want that. We just give it. Oh, sorry, I have not worked on this here. This one here now, we have not filtered it. We just have to filter at where it is actually true. Sorry for that, pardon me. But make sure this one is checked to actually see it visible being checked over here as well. So now we have these numbers. That was what we should have done before now. So our next question now, I'm going to copy this particular part again and paste it right in here. So the new question we have right in here is saying, are we overstocking any products? Great question. So who can actually support us to get it done without actually looking at my solution yet? It's important. Okay, just go ahead and actually pause the video, try it all by yourself and see what you can actually come up with. And if you can't do it, come back. I'm going to show you. So now take this off. Take this off. Let's go straight up to the dataset. So we're going to create a column here, and that column should be called like overstock. So with overstock right in here, you just have to use the if function to check. So what will the if function do? The if function is going to check if the current stock is greater than the reorder level. So that is current stock greater than this one here. So if I hit my enter key, what did I do? So I've not said what I want. So if this is the case, what we want now is going to be we multiplying 3. Multiplying whatever value given to us by 3. You get it right now. So, and if it gives us what we want, the next thing we have to do is to actually close this one and put a comma over here. Then the result we want to see is actually going to be over stock. Or, okay. So close and hit the enter key. Where are we flowing right now? So let's see. So as you can see, if I hit my enter key, it's actually doing this. So what you can do to verify this right now is to click over, just cancel this or click on OK. Click over here. It has actually highlighted the logic for you. So when you want to actually make sure you highlight this one, it does not work. So for that, we just have to remove this. Can you see it now? Now we cannot see true and we can see false. Then just go ahead and hit your enter key. This is what we need. We have to get back to here. And now we just go ahead and refresh this. Straight up to this over here. Drag it in here. And now we want to count people over here. And just do this one to be. So once we have done this now, the next thing we have to do is to actually create this particular matrix over here. So value. So for the matrix, we want to actually do total products. And over here, I want to do overstock and the PCT for overstock. So for to get numbers of total products right now, we can reference back to this very one here. Beautiful, right? So once we've done that right now, for the overstock right here is this particular number. And to calculate the percentage, you know the drill. So just go ahead and pick up this and divide by this one here. So we do Ctrl+1, we convert to percentage. So 60%. Can you see it now? This is what you need. Okay, now we copy this particular one from here. And let's go straight up to this particular part and have it pasted. So now you have this. So this one says here, which warehouse location has the most goods? Okay, what do we do? You just have to take off everything we have right in here. And not this one, not this one too. So we're going to look for warehouse, which is this particular one, drag it into the rows. And the next thing is going to be current stock. So very short answer, right? That is beautiful. So we copy this one again. And over here, we're going to paste this over. Then look at the question. 5 products with highest stock value that need reorder. So who can pause this and try to do this without looking at what I've done? If you can't get it, come back. I'm going to show you every single thing you need to do to have it done. Are you ready? So go ahead and pause it and try it all by yourself. Okay, if you can't, let's do it all by ourselves. So we just have to take off everything we have right in here. Let's do this particular one to be our product into the row levels here. Once we've done that, the next thing we need to do is just to actually go ahead and add a new column. So over here, we're going to call this particular column reorder products. Hit the enter key. And what is next? Over here, I'm going to put my equal sign and say if the current stock that we have, which is this particular one, if the current stock here is less than the reorder level, then what do we need to do? We need to say reorder. Otherwise, just give me OK. So now, there we go. Can you see it now? I believe you have seen what I've done here. So we can see it better. If I double click on it right now, you can see we are actually asked if this particular current stock here is less than the reorder, then I think it's going to be reorder. So let's correct this particular part. We call this one to be order. This one should be OK. So here we go. We have this. We have a new column we want to use right now. So we come over here now and we refresh this. Going to refresh. So drag in the new column you have just added. Oh, now I think it's going to be above here. So if I've done this right now, I can actually move any one of my choice from here. and put it right in here. And this is going to give me a count. So let us just say this one is actually going to be our total products, which is numbers of products. So once we have done this right now, click over here and just go ahead and actually click on reorder. This one. You can verify it by making sure this one is checked. Click on OK. Those are the numbers right in here. The next thing now is going to be stock value. Drag in the stock value right in here. And once again, you just have to click over here, right click and go to filter, click on top 10 and choose top 5. So if I click on OK, I have something like this, which I'm not sure of, right? So let us look at the question once more. It says 5 products. I think it's going to be products. So 5 products with higher stock values that need reorder. So over here now, we have to be sure on what we have done. Go to this and make sure you are not actually doing this by what? By total product, because that is what is happening right now. So click over here and select it to be some kind of stock value. Then click on OK. It has changed. So for you to know the reason why I did that, let me show you the question again. 5 products with highest stock values that need reorder. So now that was why we filtered by the top 5 on the stock value, right? So it gives us how many products, needs to be, some kind of reorder. This is what we actually have. So we're going to actually visualize this. And when the time comes, I'll show you how to actually make a perfect visual for this. So we're on the last one. I'm just going to copy this one here and paste it around here. Oh no, sorry. If I do this particular pasting now, it's not going to paste as a pivot table. That was because I didn't copy everything from here. So Ctrl Z now, go ahead and copy this and paste this one over here. Even if you don't need this particular part, you can take it off. Beautiful, right? So what is next? What do we do right now? The question says, what is our stock value by category? Very simple. Even a newbie can do this one. So what we can do right now, we take off this one, we take off this one, we are left with stock value, we go to category, and here you go. We have answered all the questions that we actually have. All the questions have actually been answered. So right now, it is time for you to present this. So how do we go about it? We need to create visuals that is appealing to the eyes, because nobody is actually interested in what is going on right here at the back end. What they're interested in is looking at a chart that actually quickly summarizes this and give them something they can actually, work with in the organization or in the company. So how about that? Let us look at how we can create a very clean dashboard with this. Go ahead and actually add a new sheet. In Power BI, we call it a new page, but over here, we call it a sheet. So call this one dashboard. And quickly what you need to do is to go to the top ribbon here, go to view, and make sure you turn off every single thing right in here. And you have something as plain as this. I am very particular about color. So let us go ahead and actually Ctrl A to highlight every single cells contained inside this very sheet. And once you have done that, go ahead and do Ctrl 1, then go to this particular fill here and go to more colors. Then click on custom, and over here, remove whatever you have in here and fill it. Or still, you can actually use this particular RGB should you're actually using an old version of Excel. So here you're going to fill this particular part with 28 all through. Can you see that now? So 28 over here, fill it to 28, and on that 28, this is the kind of black that we want. Go ahead and click on OK. And here we go. We have a dark, place to work with. Okay, the next thing now is to actually create the card to be used. It's very important. Let's go straight up to this particular insert, and over here we can click on illustrations, from there shapes, and pick up this particular rounded corner rectangle and drag it all the way down here. So we have to go over to the top ribbon here, and over here we just have to do 2.25 to 4.32. So we don't have the same screen size. This size I'm actually using right now might affect you if you have a wider screen or a smaller screen. So it depends. Do what actually can fit your screen currently, right? Once you have done this, you just have to reduce the rounded corner. We don't want it to look too much, right? So I'm going to keep this over here. So within the white space, so the white space we're going to have right now is going to be, this is what we call the white space. Any space you see right in here, before the edge, is a white space. This is another white space over the top right here. Can you see now? Everything here is a white space that does not actually concern this one here. So now we have this, we just have to go over to line and take off the line, then go to fill, then let us choose gradient. But this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting, because we need to do something much more advanced right in here when it comes to creating, a card. I'm going to show you how to format it properly with perfect colors. Okay, the next thing we have to do right now with our gradient, we have to be sure of what color we want to use. I have severally done, a particular video where I have shown you how to pick up colors from Adobe, I think Adobe Color.com, whatever. So now I just want to use 3 stops. Now let's go with 2 stops. So take off this particular 2, I'm left with this particular one right here. On this one now, we just have to choose this particular color and go to colors here. And over here, we can fill this particular part here. Also, if you're using an old version, just make sure you fill these numbers. So over here is going to be 69. So we're going to do that by 66. And again, this one should be 2, I think it's the 213. That is 213. This is what we want for this. Click on OK. Now for this particular color, we're going to select a darker version of the color we have just actually used. I believe I've gotten it right. If you're still having any doubt, maybe you don't have the same exact color with me, all you have to do is to actually take it back again and watch. Okay, so for this one here, we're going to do 23, and over here is going to be 72. So we selected the darker version of it. So once we have done that, let us go over here now and select a direction like this. Now we can actually rotate the angle and create some kind of effect that gives us a darker color and a lighter or brighter version of it right at this particular spot right in here. So we have this. Beautiful. Now the next thing now is to create a little design on it. So before we do that, we just have to create our own first KPI. So go over to insert and click over this particular text and click on text box and drag this over here. And what you're going to do right now is to actually say this one is actually your total stock values, right? So once you have done this now, we tick off this, and go over here. Let us increase this. So for the color, we choose a very calm, cool color. Let's go with this. So this is going to be somewhere around here. So Ctrl D to duplicate it and keep this one beneath this particular one here. So now it's time for me to go to this particular view and turn on our formula bar. So with this now, put equal sign, making sure this one is selected, and go over to this particular question and let us go from the exception, which is this particular this one here, stock value. Let me show you what I've picked. So I've picked from this particular stock value here, this variable. So once we have done that now, we have to make sure we actually get a correct size that will actually match what we are actually trying to present. So click over here, go to this, and let us use this font and make sure this size should be around 32. So expand it to show everything. Okay, this is cool. Now for the color now, we just have to choose our color. Here we go. We have something that looks like this. So let us go back up. I'm going to adjust this one a little bit. So 433, that is 4.33. So just a little bit. So this particular part is all about the kind of screen that you have. You might actually use the same size as I've used it right now. It will either be too big or too small. Or if you have the same screen with me, lucky you. You're going to have the same exact thing I have gotten. Okay, once I've done this right now, I'm going to just go ahead and Ctrl D to duplicate this one here. And once I've done the duplicate, I'm just going to resize this right here. So we need to actually convert this one to a black color. So let's go straight up to, solid fill. To a solid fill, let us select a particular color here, a dark shade color, not too dark. This one looks cool. So bringing this one over here now, we can make this smaller and keep it somewhere around here. And the rounded corner should be a little bit rounded. So we want this one into 3 places. So Ctrl D to duplicate this one, keep this one over here, and then Ctrl D again. So you can see the space is actually a lot. So I'm just going to delete this, and just extend this weight a little bit. Now that is cool. So keep this over here and over here, just adjust it. Once you're cool, hold the Ctrl key to select the 3 of them. Go over here now, go to align and distribute horizontally. And again, you can actually distribute as in align top. So we have this right in here. Okay, so with this right now on our card, what we need to do is just to go all the way up again and insert. Let's create a little design on it, on this. So take a circle and hold your shift key to drag a little bit down to have a perfect circle. Keep this over here. Once you have done this now, click over here and select this particular color. And once you have selected it, what you need to do right now is to say no line. So it looks like this, right? So just position it at where you really want to actually start. This particular part is cool. So duplicate it, duplicate it, duplicate it. Ctrl D will actually help you to get it done. Then move this particular one over here. So create a new design of your choice. It all depends on what you really want to actually have. So we just move this one over here, move this one, and that one again, and that one. I'm going to keep this on this particular spot. Ctrl D again, then keep this particular one on this spot, and keep this one on this very spot right in here. So you see this right now. This actually creates a little design for us. So I'm going to actually still click on this one and Ctrl D to actually get this done. And this time around, I'm going to increase this particular circle here. So it's bigger than the rest I've actually done before now. Then keep this over here, keep this over here. That is nice. So once we have done this right now, the next thing we have to do is to go over to this home. From home, click on find and select this particular, select objects here. Then select everything. Once you've done that, let us put this at 80% and step off and let's see what we have. This gives us this particular kind of effect. And it looks beautiful. It depends on what you want. If this doesn't look like what you really want, you can have it removed or you can actually create your own style of it. Let us fill up this particular card here. So get this one at the top here, duplicate it by Ctrl D. Then you drag in this to this level. So here's gonna be. Now we have to resize, just reduce it. Keep this over to this side here. Duplicate this one and keep this one over here. Then get on that one. So this one now will be total categories. So this one will be current stock. So we have to align them properly. So hold your control key and select all of them. Then go to this particular shape format and align to the top. Align top. So over here, we just have to make sure this one is centralized. So once we have done this right now, I'm going to go up again, go to insert and take up a circle here. Hold your shift key to drag a perfect circle, not too big, something a little bit smaller. And keep this over to this particular part for a little design and no line. So what I'm going to do now is to select this particular actual color I'm using, which is this very color here. So duplicate this particular one, bring it over here, and let's quickly go over and pick up this very color. If that is too bright, we can change our mind to select something from here. So then duplicate again, and this time around we want to select from here. So this gives us something like this. The next thing we have to do is just to go ahead and actually bring up the values that we need to actually be here. So Control D to duplicate any of this one, keep it over here, and let us put an equal sign. We want to take our total products, we go over here, and this is the number. So resize it, make it to sit right here. So increase the size. Okay, let's go ahead and duplicate this one. Bring this over here. Duplicate again. Then this one should actually be our current stock. So where can we find that? Do we have it? Is stock value. Average. So it seems we have not created for current stock. So what we need to do right now is to go ahead and actually create that. It's very easy. Just copy this one, keep it beneath here, and go ahead and remove this one and click on this to get your current stock. So go back here now and actually click on this one. Let's go ahead and highlight and pick up this number. Hit the enter key. For this particular part here, it's going to be the total categories that we have created before now. Let's see where it is. And it's going to be this 5 right here. So click on this one and come over here and double click on the format printer. Give it to this, give it to this. So once you have done that, hold your control key, select 3 of them, and quickly we go to shape formats, go to align and align button. Okay. If you want to master Microsoft Excel and as well Power BI, I have a course that covers every single thing to know to actually master either Power BI or Microsoft Excel. Check out the comment section or the description box for the course. All right, everyone, we have just finished creating this particular one. It is time for you to create a new card. So Control D to duplicate this one and keep it right in here, right? So I'm just going to bring it down and hold my control key to select this one. Go to the top ribbon, click over here and align top. This will give us proper alignment between here and here. The spacing will actually be, the same exactly. We have to change the wideness, like go over here now, and over here we just have to do 2.89. This is what we want. And after we have done this right now, we need to actually customize the color we want to use, because this color, we can't use it for every single card we have right in here. So we have to choose a different color for this. So what color are we going to use? Let's find out. So with Control 1 right now, we just have to go to solid, and from here, click over here, click on more, and let us go ahead and, fill this particular part. So the easiest way is to just do, 71, 71, 71. And if I click on OK here, I have something that looks like this. So from now on, this is the color we're going to be using in most of our cards. So what is going to be here? Let's go to the question. So here it says items below reorder level. So what we need to do is just to come over here, just go ahead and copy, double click, just duplicate this one and move it and keep it somewhere around here. Then stretch it this way. Let's go ahead and get a question as our title. So we get this. So once you have done that, you just have to go over here and pick up a color for it. So here we go. We have something like this. So the next thing we have to do right now is just to reduce this a little bit, put it at 11. So we have a question. This question is this particular title is too bright. I will go over here and select this one that looks a little bit calm. So beautiful. So how do we visualize this particular one here now? What we need to do is to actually click on this very part, the order and the need reorder. So let's go straight up to insert, and in my own case, I'm going to go with this particular one. So we don't need to keep any of this. We're going to create ours just to keep space. So once you have done, resize this, Ctrl X, and go over to your dashboard, then Ctrl V to paste it. And once you're here, you just have to move this one up in here. Then reduce it like this. So Ctrl 1, and no. So click back on it again and choose to say no line. So you have something like this. But next I'm going to do right now is to double click over here and go over to this particular part. Now we have to select a particular color that can actually make this one not to actually look too bright, because it's orders. We have our focus. The focus one is this particular little part right in here. That is the main focus we want to actually, give to people. So for that, we have to make sure we do something that wouldn't too, bright. So let's go with something like this, too bright. So let's check this color here. Okay, this color is not bad, but what if we go with this particular color? Not too bad. Let's go with this one. Beautiful. Can you see it now? So it is still popping out from the background that we have, but I think it's too dark. So let us change our mind. Double click on it so that it can actually activate it for you. So once you have done that, go over to this one, a little bit brighter. So now we can play around with this particular part here, the transparency part here, to send it a little bit, to the background. So we don't want it to appear too much. Then we have to make sure this one stands out. Double click on it, and over here, can you see now? We have pushed it out a little bit. So this is what we have done. So this one now is a color that is actually, popped. Then what do we need to do? We have to just make sure we rearrange it to switch it from where it is and keep it somewhere around here. Once we have done this right now, we need to create a legend for this. And our legend is going to be, let's go ahead and click on this one, double click on it, and bring this over to this particular spot here. Then make it a bit smaller. Too huge. So somewhere around here. Now this particular color here, you can actually pick it if you want. Double click on it, and over here you have the color. You go over to more. You can copy the color code from here if you don't have it already. Then you have the color already. Now click over to here and paste in the color you've just copied its code over here, and here we go. That's the first legend. The second one now, we go ahead and keep this one over here. Then we select this particular color we have actually used. Can you see it now? So what next do we do? We just duplicate this particular one and keep it somewhere around here. And you can type here, need reorder. So we just make the text very small, right? So then we just go over to here. So this one now should be orders. That is all. Can you see it now? So we have to click on this, and make sure we bring them down a bit. Once you have done that, Next thing you have to do now is just to click on Ctrl D and bring this over here. Now let us go ahead and pick values. So we go straight up to need reorder. This is the value. Then Ctrl D to duplicate this and keep this over here. So get the value for orders. Then orders, this one. So what do we need to do? Click over this one and just double click on this one and use it over here. So here we go. We have something that looks like this. So we're not done yet. So what do we need to do? We go over here straight up. So we have this particular percentage. How do we visualize the percentage we have alongside with what we have right in here? It's difficult, but we can make it sense using it. So what we need to do right now is to actually have it as what I call caption. So put an equal sign, text function here helps you to format percentage into normal percentage. Other than that, if I don't use this particular text and I reference this particular one over here, it's giving me something good. But what happens if I just go ahead and say, okay, I want to concatenate this text into it. This text is going to be, let's say, R below reorder. So let's see what happens. Now can you see now? This is what we have. Our text plus this is not guarantee that we're going to have it formatted the way it were before. So in that case, we need to actually use this particular text function here. Text, then come to the front of this particular 6 here, put a comma, double quote 0.0%, then close and hit your enter key. Now we have 14.3% are below reorder. Okay, so once we have done that, now we can just go ahead and click on this one, duplicate it and keep it somewhere around here, stretch it up. Then let's go ahead and pick it up again. So here we go. We have this. We can just quickly go straight up to this. Can you see now? This makes a complete sense than what it were before. Okay, once we have done this now, we just have to go ahead and duplicate this one and keep this around here. So maintain the same spacing we have right here. So right now we can fill it up to this level. So before we do that, let's go straight up to here. So now, maintain the white space here to be equals to this particular one. And here you go, you have this. What is going to be right here? Let's find out. Okay. I'm looking for something that could actually be there. Out of all of this, let's look for which products, which supplier deliver the most. I'm looking for suppliers now. Okay, let's go with this particular one. Straight up to this particular one, duplicate and keep this over here. Then now turn on back formula bar. Let's go here. Then give it a key. Click on this and home. Double click on this and here we go. Escape key to take it off. Now you have this question here. How do you answer it? It's very simple. Create a very simple, chart, a PV chart, insert. This is the chart I want to use over here. So if I Ctrl X to call it now, I can come over here and duplicate. Sorry, I said duplicate, and just Ctrl V to keep it down. So we just have to make sure we align it properly over here. So this is not making any damn sense now. It's not really making any sense. So what we can do is to right click and make sure you are right clicking on this particular total products and hide. Once you have done that, take off this particular one, then take off the total and take off this very part here. And finally, this particular one should be taken out. Then double click on it and turn off every single thing you have right in here. And as well, the bottom part should say no line for it. Then you can actually go to the text area and choose the color, which is gonna be this color here. It pops right now. So once you've done that, click on this and change the color. So let's go with this particular color. This is cool. So this is not really finished yet. So what we can do right now is to click over here and click over here and turn on the values because you don't really need them. So values, which is data label. So you can click on data labels and go over to text again and click over this particular color. So here we go. We have something that looks beautiful, just like this. Okay, to fasten the whole process, I have actually gone behind the scene to get all of those cards right here laid out for you guys. It's easy. If you want to see what I've done here, this is a single card, and that card again, and that one right here, and that one, and that little one here, and this one plus this one. How many cards in total? That's going to be around 8, right? 3 here, and that 3 here, 6, is around 8. Try to actually get this same kind of view created. If you had been a subscriber on my YouTube channel, this wouldn't be something that is too much to do, right? It's something very simple that you can actually do in just a few seconds. Just take your time to get it done. So what do we need to do? We answer the questions. So which category has the most low stock? So we already have that. We start looking for it over here. Let's go straight up to this part. I think this is it here. So we just have to click on this and create a chart. Something very simple. This chart won't work. Let me show you why it will not work. Even if I decide to remove all of this from here, just like what I've done before, have them hidden, and take off this particular part, take off this very part, and take off this part. Now we're going to Ctrl X to cut it away from here. Then we go to dashboard, and what we need to do is to Ctrl V and resize it and keep it inside here. Then we have space issue. This chart is enough. It's okay to actually get this visualized if we have enough space. But due to the space issue that we have right now, we can't actually use this right in here. It's not going to work. So what do? We just go over to the top ribbon and click on this design, and from design we go to change chart type over here. Then we select this particular bar chart, and over here this is what we need to use. Click on OK. So now it's showing up everything without making it difficult for you to read it. So take off the gradient. Sorry, should I call it gradient? The grade line rather. So take it off, and now we take off. Leave the axis here. So take off the fill color and the fill color. No this. So click back on this one and go over here and put it at 70 something. Depends on what you want and your screen size. So now we just have to go over to here. Don't forget we are using this particular color. So just like what we have right in here. Then click over here now and go to the text option and choose the right text for you. Okay, everything shows up. Then this particular x-axis should be turned off. Can you see it right now? So we're not done yet. You can click inside it and just move this one inside. Can you see it now? So we can click over here now and turn on data label. Once you have done that, click over here and let's go straight up to here to actually get our values, brighter one. Okay, you can see how speedy this one looks right now. So we have something like this. So let's get back here. So what we can do right now, over here, we just have to say equals sum. I think so, yeah. Sum of this whole number we have right in here, then close it. Once you've done that, you just have to do ampersand and just say products have most low stocks. So can you see? This is the totality of how many low stocks that we actually have. So what we can do right now is to go straight up to this particular part here, Control D, and bring this over to this particular spot. In that case, we're going to move this one up a little bit to create a space for this one, right? So let's go ahead and pick it up. So we go straight up to question and pick up this one. So we still use this same style. So here we go. We have it. Adjust it properly. Okay. Next question. Are we overstocking any products? This is another question we should actually answer. So this time around, what I'm going to do is just to quickly go over here and click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this, Ctrl Z. Click on this, click on this. Now with Ctrl D, we just have to make sure we move it and keep it somewhere around here. Around here. So we're going to adjust this later, but for now, let us leave it this way. So are we stocking any products? Let's go ahead and find out where it is. So here we go. We have it right in here. All we have to do is to just go ahead and create the same exact kind of chart we have used before, which is this very one here. So take off this value, take off this very one, right, and reduce this. Then Ctrl X to cut it. And over here, we just have to do Ctrl V to paste it down and just resize this and keep it somewhere around here. So double click and no. And click back on it on the inner one and just do this. So once you have done this, double click and just go ahead and push it out a little bit. Okay, now we have this done. So we just have to go ahead and select a color for this, the same exact color I've actually used before. So now we just have to push this down. Something like this would be cool. So now what we need to do now is just to click over here, over here, over here, and push it up a little bit. We're creating a space for something very important here. So now, what name are we going to give to this one? This one is actually going to be, oh no. Let's see what happens. It seems we selected the wrong one. This is what we have used. This one here is total product. And let's see that. Let's see that again. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure it's for this one. Let's create for the last time. I'm so sorry for that mix up. Oh no, this is it. Ctrl X. So on this one, we delete this one away from here. Ctrl V to paste it. So bring it up, right click, have it hidden. Take off every single thing we have right in here. So we reduce the size, keep it somewhere around here. Double click on it, turn off every single thing. Click back on it and turn off the border. So resize it and keep it around here. So click on it and just go straight up to this particular part. So we have done that. Let's go straight up to here and select this. Bring the color down to blend with the background a little bit. So this is our main focus right here. So now it is time for me to pick the value. So before we pick the value, what is it? We have overstock. So go over here and say this is our overstock. This is orders. So what do? We go straight up to this particular part here. For our overstock, it's going to be this number. For orders, we select for this particular number. So we have to go straight up to this particular part and straight up to home, double click on this, apply and apply. So we have something that looks like this. So don't forget, this is very important. Duplicate it and keep it beneath here. And let's go straight up to this particular part. And over here, we're going to put an equal sign and use the text function. Apply a format into this one, 0.0%. Then have it close, ampersand here. So space. Then we're going to say of products are overstock. stocks. You see that now? Let's go back and go ahead and pick it up. We're right here, hit enter key, and just gave it the same exact formatting. So can you see that now? This is beautiful. Okay, we're going to leave this particular part for slicer. And over here, we have to visualize our average reorder level. It's important. So just go ahead and duplicate this particular one and keep it somewhere around here, right? So let's quickly go ahead and pick it up. Average. Where could I find that? So here we go. So what I'm actually concerned about right now is this particular color here. I want to make sure I change my mind to select this very kind of color I've used over here. So just go ahead and actually use the format printer and apply it. And here you go. It turned out a lot. Okay, we have done this right now. It is time to see what we can do right here. Over here it says, what is our stock value by category? Let's go. Let's go, category. So here we go, we have it right in here. It's going to be a period chart as well. Very simple, anybody can do this. Let's use this one for space purpose. So once we have actually clicked on that, just go over here and make sure you right click and just do sort smallest to largest. It's going to actually start from this biggest to the smallest. Then we have to take off any axis we don't actually need to keep. We take off the total away from here. We right click on this particular one and we have this one hidden. Then we just go straight up to this particular part here and resize this. Then Ctrl X to cut this. Then over here we have it. So what do? We just drop it on this particular part. Once done, double click over here. No fill, no fill. So we just have to do the needful. I believe this particular part is something that is well understood. So we click on this particular one, click over here. We just make it a little bit exactly. So we straight up go over to here. The same color with this. So let's click on this one, hit our label. So click over here and let's do the number formatting. So over here we have an issue. You just have to click on this one and just push this one inside to see if it creates anything good for you. So you can now shift this one, shift it until you have all the values showing up. Then we can now move them inside like this. So I said this one depends on the kind of screen size you have. If you have a lot of screen size, don't manage it, just make sure you spread it. So just say no fill as well. So we have something as clean as this. The next question is the 5 product with the highest stock value. Here it's going to be a little bit, I think I want to keep this. I want you to do this one. Be able to come over here, show 2 of them. They should be switched between them. When you want to switch between this particular one and this one, there should be a button that helps to do that. So before we actually go ahead and solve it, let's solve this one first, because this one is going to take a little time, but it's something very important that you need to know. So it says, which products are below their reorder level? So it's simple. Let's go straight up to where we have that writing, this one here. Can you see it now? So we just go straight up to this. Because of space, we use this one. We Ctrl X, we go back here. So we paste it in. Just move it over here. So we right click and we turn off everything, have it hidden. This one too should be gone. This one gone. Total 2. Now we double click over here, no fill, no line. So over here we just go ahead and change the color to match what we want. So straight up to this particular part now, we do the label. So once you have done that, we just go straight up to here, we get the value showed up. So we click on this one and we say no line to it. So we click on the bars and we go straight up to this particular part and we'll make the bars to be a little bit thicker than what it is right now. So the next thing now, we change the color to match the color of the previous charts we actually used. And finally, we go over here and right click and say sort smallest to largest. Then we should have it sorted from largest to the smallest value right in here. So we have something like this. What I'm going to do right now is to remove the x-axis away from here. So beautiful. So adjust it and make sure you fill it inside over here. And here you go. We are almost at the far end of this particular, dashboard. So we are right in here right now. We need to create something much more beautiful and be able to switch between two values. So how about it? Have you tried it? So let me show you how to get that done. So we're going to come over to where it is. This is the pivot table we want to use. This very one right in here. So now this one can be, I think it's button like this. Okay, what we can do right now is to go over to the top ribbon here, go to our developer and click over insert and insert an option button. So make sure you remove the text you have in it. But don't resize it, don't adjust it. Remove the text you have in it. Once you've done that, go ahead and duplicate it. So you have two of them. Keep this one over here and keep this one over to here, right? So once you have done that, let us copy any one of our chairs here and keep it somewhere around here. And what is inside here right now, we're going to just say reorder, make it smaller and keep it right here. Duplicate it, and for the duplicate, so this one will be stock value. Stock values. So keep this over here. For then, let us go ahead and move this one away to this spot. Now we can just keep this over here. So what we can do right now, select both of them and right click and send them to back for a reason. Send to back. They are gone, they've disappeared. Click on this particular card and actually send to back, it will appear. So what happens, even if I don't target this particular pattern, I'm just targeting the text right here, I'll still be able to switch between, two of them. So right now, this is what it is. Okay, let us right click on this very one here and go to form control. Once we have done that, we come over to this very one, and for the button, click over here and click on OK. So now we're going to see one once we get back. So we can use this one now to configure what we want. Over here, I'm going to just select this particular part. So as an array, we have the table. So now I'm going to say if this particular one here, F4 to lock it down is equals 1, then move from here. Otherwise, get into here and retrieve whatever it is right for us. So now we can just go ahead and highlight this particular spot. So now we have it. Go ahead and create the pivot table. Or chart, rather, pivot chart. So this one, no. We can change it. Let's change our mind. So we select this one because of space issue. So we take off this one from here. We take this off. The grid lines. So Ctrl X, and over here we have to. So now double click on it. No fill, no this. So we just have to quickly go ahead and do the right formatting. So click over here and select data label. Then let's go straight up to this particular part here. So now if I switch to this particular one, I have all the values right in here. I can just stretch this to make sure everything shows up. Then click on this particular part here and reduce this one to go in. So you see how it is right now. So click over here and click over here now and choose the color you want to use, this color. Then here we go. So can you see it now? So you only have, the opportunity to actually sort only one of them. Either you sort by this one or you sort by this. But if you want to actually make a sort, we have a function that can do that. I think I've taught that in my course. So just go ahead and take a look at the course I have. You're going to see how to sort it, both of them dynamically, right? So sort from smallest to largest. Let's do this sorting. Let's get back here. So when I click on this one now, it's sorted, but this one will not be sorted. There's a function to actually handle this, and it's very simple and easy. So right now, I think we have actually completed this to like 98%, if not 99%. What is left right now is adding up a slicer and connect the slicer to make it work 100%. Okay, so what about this? So what are the slicers we want to add? We want to add slicers like category and supplier. So all we have to do is to go over to the question, and over here, this is actually our product. Right click over here and go to this particular, I think it's gonna be show field list. And now over here, we just right click on our category and we add it as a slicer. Here we go, we have our first slicer. Then we add supplier as our second slicer. So once we have gotten those particular two slicers right in here, all we have to do is to Ctrl X, and being here, we just have to do Ctrl V to paste them down. So once we have done that, we just come over here and adjust it. Okay, nicely done. So I'm just going to readjust this particular one here. So now we have all of this right in here. The next thing we have to do right now is to make sure this particular slicer blends with the background. So click on any of the background that looks like the one we have right in here, or this particular one, and Ctrl 1, and make sure you copy the exact color we are using right in here, which is going to be this one. Then copy the color. The next thing we have to do right now, click on any of these particular slicers right here. Then go over to slicer. Then actually right click and right click over here, duplicate it. Once you have done that, you can actually click on header or on the whole. Let's go to format, then say no border. On the fill, just go over here and custom, then we'll paste in the color we have copied. So click on OK, we click on OK. So if you want to see the effect right now, you go or click on OK, you click over here, you just click, and now you can see the effect is blending. So we have to do one more work. As in more works. Before we go into that, okay, let's do modify. Now it's modified, not duplicate again. For the header, we click on more or format rather, then border. Should I have a border for the header? Yes, we can have a border for the header. Then turn it on, take off this border, take off this border, chop off this border, and make sure you're selecting the lighter version. Then go over here, select the same color and select it. Then click on OK. That is that. So click on it again and go over to font color. For the font color, we just want to select something like this one here. And for the fill color for the header, go to more and go to custom. From custom, swap, and here we go. So we click on OK. So selected item with data, we just want to go over to it. And over here, we just want to just make sure there is no color that is not matching our background. We have actually selected the color. So no border. For the font, we select a white font, something brighter, like a very white color, like this one here. And for the border, no border. For the fill, we have changed it. I selected item with data. So on selected item with data right now, we go over here and we say no border to it, and the fill color should be the same exact color as our background. So we take off this one and we'll click on OK. Over here for the font, we just have to select something that is a little bit fainting into the background, and we still use italic like this. So let's find out how it looks. So it looks like this. Can you see now? So now this is what is happening. What can we do? It's only affecting one single, visual. So we have to connect. Before we connect right now, we have to go all the way back here. So we have to rename our category. This is our category. So click on it and go over to this particular design here. Sorry, pivot tables analyzer. Go over here and put cart for category. Cart 1, you have like 2 times of it. So now we go over to supplier, this warehouse. This is our supplier. We have the slicer. We want to identify it. So go over here and just do SP for supplier, SP for supplier, right? So next again is just for we to look for any category. We have another category over here. So we just have to identify our category. So cart 2. Okay, now once we have done that, we just go back here again. And now right click and just say report connection. Report connection. You can actually widen it. So now it's time for me to add to this. We are on category. We don't want to give it to any of the categories right here. You just have to select every other things except categories. So once you are done, click on OK. So now, can you see? It's affecting every other visuals. Okay, select it. Now, do the same to this particular one. Right click and go to report connection. Then widen everything to make sure this SP is visible. So I connect to this one. Let's connect to every other slicers except SP, which is itself. So now, can you see now? This is what we actually have right in here. Everything is actually working fine, like 100% okay. So what about this? So check it out and see where you think we can actually fix something right in, and see how you can develop that, and tell me in the comment section what we are missing that we should have actually added that we did not actually add. It's very important to me because I want to learn from you too. If there is any mistake I've made, please don't hesitate to actually tell me that, oh, you made this particular mistake, should have been this way out. So inventory. Okay, so here we go. We have a title for our dashboard. I just want to go ahead and select a particular color that is a bit fading to the background. I think something like this would be cool for me. This is what we have actually just created, and it's something very interesting, very beautiful, and I believe you must have actually sit down and actually create something that looks like this. So if it's your first time hitting this particular channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe to this particular channel, because I'm going to be doing a lot of tutorials on Excel and Power BI dashboards just for you in any industry of your choice. So how about it? You're welcome. See you in my next videos.